Kia ora, this program is brought to you by Wellington Access Radio. Wellington Access Radio, make your voice heard.
Hey, welcome back to the Black House on 106.1 FM. First, I got some good news. Well, actually, yeah, I do have good news, but I have some sad news. So, first, we've got a bit of sad news. My co-host Tommy is on a sojourn until he gets on top of his studies, so we'll be missing his voice here on the Black House for a little while as he gets stuck into his finals for the year. We wish him all the best while he finishes off his studies, and thank you so much for your contribution to the Black House, especially these first 15 weeks on air. There's always going to be a seat at this table when you're ready to come back to it. So in the meantime, dig in, as they say, and smash out those passing results, Tommy. We want to be hearing good things from you in the future. And now on to some good news. Today, okay, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We haven't done this before, and we're getting a little bit technically savvy over here in the Black House because we don't normally do this sort of stuff, but we're going to give it a go. And we're expanding our reach just a little bit from Wellington, just a wee bit. So today, our guest today is a finalist on the Miss Universe New Zealand pageant. And basically, she's running a huge event on the 10th of October in Auckland, which received a lot of interest in our Facebook page. And has she called through yet, TJ? Yeah. Okay, so basically what we're doing is... I think she's also raising funds for a couple of amazing causes. Vibrant Africa Day. Some of you, it's a national and also a national campaign called Candle for Life, where you purchase a candle and the proceeds go to victims of domestic violence. It's a very worthy cause through Shine New Zealand, and also she is working with Pet Refuge. I'd like to welcome Ash Beacon. Did I get that right, Ash? Hi, Ash. Are you there?
Hi, Leah. Yes, I am.
Oh, fantastic. Hey, this is new for us too. We haven't done this before, so we're just working through some things. How are you doing? How's things up in Auckland?
Things are great, actually. I've just arrived into Auckland this morning. I actually live in Tauranga. However, I have a lot of my work for the Mrs. Universe that happens in Auckland, so I'm here quite often anyways. So how's it going in Auckland as far as COVID's concerned? Because I understand you guys up there are still in level 2. What's Tauranga like? So it's quite a big change for me personally, just because I come out from Tauranga, which is at level 1, and with no cases at all, actually, coming into level 2, which is Auckland, where you have active cases. It's a little bit different. I think the atmosphere is a little bit different with... people are still a bit skeptical, which for right reasons. However, I think COVID is the new normal now, and everyone seems to be getting on with life with the extra added protection and safety.
Right. Well, that's really, it must be tough for people up in Auckland at the moment. I mean, they've been having to do it the long haul and the long way. We're back in level 1 down in Wellington too, and it's a bit of a relief just to have a little bit more freedom and being able to do things like have guests in the radio station and stuff like that. Hey, I want to get into talking about you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Yes, sure. So I'm Ash Betchen. I'm actually a Mrs. Universe New Zealand 2021 candidate.
So did you say Mrs. or Miss?
So Mrs. So we actually have a Mrs. That's for us if you're married or you have kids, which is a great platform, but it's a little bit different from a Miss.
Right. Okay. Because I was just I don't think I was even thinking about it when I was reading it. I was just automatically thinking Miss Universe. Yeah. Okay. So Mrs. Universe. So that's a whole other kettle of fish, isn't it?
That's correct. Yes, it is. I guess when you're a Miss, it's quite different because you sort of, you're just all about you. When you become a Mrs., it's about you last. So, there's the kids, the husband, the family, there's everyone else, and then there's you. So it's a new ball game, I guess, when you joining a platform such as this.
Yeah. And were you into pageants, beauty pageants, before you came to New Zealand and modelling? Or was this just something you picked up down here because you could do other things in the community?
Yes, well, I've been actively involved, however, not for the last few years. I did Miss India in 2007, which is quite some time back. I was quite young, so I have been in the industry for some time. I did a few fashion shows back in South Africa, which is where I'm from. That was for a charity event as well. But yeah, so I've been involved in it, not completely full-time, but, as needed, especially when it comes to the community event.
Yeah.
That's where you'd find me. And, so I've decided to come back into it this year.
All right. So what I was reading just today, that in South Africa, they'll be having their next next Miss South Africa competition, but it's going to go virtual. What do you think are the pros and cons of going virtual for a beauty pageant?
Personally, I think the pros there of a virtual is you're not in the spotlight, so some of that pressure is taken off because it's just you and your cameraman or your videographers, so that pressure of having your live audience might be taken off quite a bit.
Yeah.
However, the negative is because you're using a social media platform, it's virtual, so you've got to ensure that you are grabbing the audience, you are doing the right things to get the attention. Whether it's your community involvement or whatever you're doing in the community has to go online, so the audience can see it virtually rather than you being in front of them every day. So it has its pros and cons.
Okay.
Of having the virtual pageants, but I do think it's a little bit pressure off. It's a bit different, completely different to the normal, so it is something to get used to, but like everything else, I think this is just another way of doing things and to keep things moving, as they say.
What would be some of the differences you would think between a Miss Universe pageant and a Mrs. Universe pageant? What would be the main differences between the two?
For me personally, because I've done a Miss and now I'm doing a Mrs., I think the responsibility, you take on a different sort of responsibility in a pageant that's a Mrs., because we are much more mature in age. We are at a different level of thinking. We are in a different place of life. So I think the biggest challenge of doing a Mrs. pageant is the level of seriousness there is to this platform. Yes, there's fun. It's all about enjoying, but there's a lot of sentiments behind this pageant. So it's compared to a Miss where you're just all about you. You're looking pretty. Yes, it's for charity as well, but it's much easier to contain when you're a Miss compared to a Mrs.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about like the sentiment involved, like the things that a Mrs. Universe would do that's really different from like a Miss?
I think bringing the whole family aspect into the pageant, because we are all mums or wives, I think we're bringing in who we are. We sort of, we grow over the months into the pageant. And yes, it's still a runway, it's still everything else, but the sentiment we carry with it is, we still someone's wife. We still got to take care of the house. You've still got to see to the kids before the glam, before the audience get to see the glam. So I think, these are quite, it's definitely pressure, but the sentiment it holds is that, you've made it, you've done something for your community. The community aspect, we at a broader level, we're hosting our own individual events, which I think takes a lot because we are not event planners.
Right.
So,
and is that part of the requirement that you have to do an event? Wow. Okay, that's quite a lot.
Yes, it is. I believe it's part of the international standard of the Mrs. Universe New Zealand is following a lot of the international standards.
Right.
Things have changed a little bit over the course of a few weeks just because with the re-emergence of COVID. So we're not having to put, individual events such as the one like I'm doing, the Africa Day. It's not to that extreme at the moment, but yes, everyone has to do their own separate fundraising. Whereas when you're doing your Miss Pageants, you're doing it together as a group to raise money.
Yeah.
So this is one of the key responsibilities. I think is something that we all have to do as a missus individually. Come up creative, be creative in your ideas. So
I'm just curious. You said you're from South Africa. Whereabouts in South Africa are you from?
So I'm born in Durban.
Durban, yeah.
However, I've lived in Johannesburg as well, so between Durban and Johannesburg. I left there when I was 15.
Sorry, what was that? You left
I left there when I was 15 years old.
Right.
So quite young, and then we came to New Zealand, and I've been here since, which is about the last 16 years now.
Wow, that's a long time. Do you miss home?
I do miss home, but I must say I'm quite in touch with my roots. I keep in touch with my country, the heritage days they have. I go back quite often.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a piece of my heart is still there, and I think that doesn't change with any of us coming from Africa.
Well, just for a moment, we're going to cut to a music break. Just stay on the line there, Ash, because we're not going to be hanging you up. We're just going to be leaving you kind of sitting there in the background for a minute because we haven't figured all of that stuff out here yet. Okay, our first song today is Ken Rodi. He's a Nigerian Afro-pop artist born in Lagos State, Nigeria. He hails from one of the western states in Nigeria. He's a songwriter, performer, known for his own unique voice and style. He started singing from his childhood but started professionally in 2000. He's currently based in Perth, Australia, but more engaged with his music fans around the world. And you can connect with him on YouTube and Facebook at Keen, Keene, Roti, and Instagram and Twitter at I Am Ken Rodi. This is his second hit that we've played on the Black House. This is his song, The Way.
Diana ginger me, carry your body cover me. Oh yeah, baby, control me. Living life with my Gucci. Got the money and goody. I'm in love with your body. Excuse me, mama, I want to be your honey. No time for the shake time. If I decide to call you, no be say me, I just become a fool. Now me make you say you come my way, and I go just appreciate, baby. Say lie, oh lie. No more delay, no delay. I just wanna be your sweet, baby, come show me how to way. I just wanna be your sweet, baby, come show me how to way. I remember the first time that I met you. The love doesn't flow, it shock my memory. Love at first sight, that's what I do. I did romantic, call me Mr. Romantic. Everybody got their moves, yeah. When I put the queen on the queen of moves, yeah. If I decide to call you, no be say me, I just can't come there. Now me make you say you come my way, yeah. And I go just appreciate, baby. Show me your show me. Say you come my way.
Black House, you're here with just Leah this week and our sound guy somewhere. Hey, I'm here on the air with a wonderful person. She's from South Africa. Her name is Ash Beacon. She's a Miss Universe New Zealand finalist. Are you there, Ash?
I'm still here.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, so far so good, hey?
Best for fun.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the charities that you're involved in and why you chose those charities.
Sure. So part of the Miss Universe indeed is supporting Shine New Zealand.
Right.
So that's an organization that helps make home violence,
Yeah.
so domestic violence. So Shine.
You're cutting out a little bit, Ash. Are you
Is
there?
that better?
Yeah, like can you just get somewhere where the sound's really stable?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, that's much better. Yeah.
Awesome. Yes, so Shine is all about making homes violence-free. So it looks at the kids and, the women and some of the men that go through domestic violence or family violence.
Right, yeah.
I believe New Zealand is one of the highest countries,
It
sadly,
is.
with domestic violence cases, a high number.
Yeah, it is. It has been. If it still is now, it has been for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I believe this organization has chosen quite a good not-for-profit organization to support.
Right.
I'm quite proud to be able to work with Shine and work towards fundraising for Shine.
Right.
The New Zealand police get to call every 4 minutes with a domestic violence case.
Really?
Yeah.
That's our
This is
rate.
pre-COVID.
Oh, wow. And what about...
We have approximately 90,000 children in New Zealand that are faced in a home that has family violence.
Oh, my gosh. Well, that is not a record to be proud of.
Definitely. I'd rather us be having a different record, like, the best rugby or
Right.
something like that. But
Yeah,
yes,
or enough refuges for everybody who needs to get away.
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we come in assisting Shine, because we are trying our best to assist with resources, fundraising different campaigns through the year so that we can help them get the resources they need to house victims of domestic violence or provide a refuge like Women's Refuge. There's also the Pet Refuge, which assists domestic violence victims who's got pets but they are too afraid to leave.
Oh, I was wondering what the pet refuge was because I thought that was maybe stray pets or stray animals and it was a refuge for them because somebody found them somewhere. But you're saying these
it's actually for domestic violence victims. So it's a temporary shelter for victims to get away, leave their pets there so that they know they can sort out their life and come back and grab their pet once they're in a safer place.
Yeah, because pets can also be victims of the domestic violence when the aggressor wants to take it out on something else besides the person, isn't it?
Yes, that's 100% correct. And I think for many pet owners, they're not just a pet, they're part of the family. So it's one of the reasons why they would not want to leave, what happens to their pet. There are statistics out there to show that that's the reason people stay, or victims, don't want to leave their perpetrators.
Yeah, I'm particularly interested in that cause that you're standing for, because I grew up in New Zealand during the 80s, and we did have the worst record in the world I guess that's the alliance world. I'm not sure, if it's the complete world, but worlds that were, countries that were taking domestic violence statistics and what have you. And we had the worst rate for domestic violence and child deaths. And I worked in women's refuges and women's centres in the Taranaki region. So, and I know during that time, the history of that was epidemic. It was so, if you were working in anything, even if it was community-based, volunteering in refuges or women's centres or things like that, you'd become quite politicised about it. And it's really sad that it's still going on today.
Definitely.
I was seeing on Vic Deals just the other day, there was something up on there about people having their drinks spiked and what have you in clubs. Now that was a problem back in the 80s too, but I just thought we'd moved on from that. You know what I mean? Like there was a basic understanding that that's a really lousy thing to do to people, and then all the things that can happen after that. And it looks like we've got a lot more growing up to do in this area too. Was there any particular reason why you chose this charity?
So together with the Mrs. Universe New Zealand, they advocate Shine New Zealand. That's one of their charities that they support. So with the organization, it's aligned with my goals quite well, because can't personally relate, but I know people who's been through domestic violence, and I see what it does to people.
Yeah.
So it definitely aligns with me, and that's the reason I joined hands and I joined this platform, so that I can, do my bit in the community, assist Shine, assist the Pet Refuge, and any other societies, really, like the Women's Refuge. I think even a little goes a long way for these not-for-profit organizations.
Yes. I think I understand they lost a lot of funding while National was in power. So it's very hard to get into women's refuges or find emergency housing at the moment. I know it is in Wellington. I don't know, does Shine provide housing and safe houses for...
They work quite closely with Women's Refuge in Auckland, so
right.
I believe that they do provide that assistance.
Yeah. And where would you find Shine?
So Shine, the office is actually in New North Road. However, they have a free call number, which is 0508 744 633. This is basically a free line for any victims or anyone feels that they are going through some sort of domestic violence. This is a confidential domestic abuse helpline that anyone can call 7 days a week from 9 till 11.
Right. Could you repeat that number for us so
Sure.
that people get that?
Sure. So that is 0508 744 633.
Great. So if you're going through anything like that in the home, there is a free call number. Ash has just shared that with us. This is Shine. And Shine is essentially, it's not a women's refuge though, is it?
No, so they work together with the Women's Refuge, but they basically want to make homes violence-free. So they offer courses, they offer people who want to get out of an abusive relationship. They help them to get connected with the Women's Refuge. So they are basically your first point of contact.
Yeah. And is Shine one of the something that you're particularly passionate about, or was that also something that they said, hey, here's the list of charities, pick one?
Yeah. Yes, I was quite passionate about it. I'm pursuing a study in psychology.
Okay.
This is something I'm doing in my spare time, very little spare time.
Yeah,
but,
with a family and a beauty contest.
Yes, so I'm pursuing study in psychology, and I see some of the stats, and it's quite horrific.
Yeah.
And these are just going by the stats that are actually reported.
Right. Yeah.
So there's so many more unreported.
Oh yes, there's a lot that's
So-
unreported, and
Yes.
I'm finding it. Do you notice that a lot of the young people today don't like to cause a rift when these sorts of things happen? They'd much rather go to social media and say this happened to me than go to the police.
Yes.
Are you noticing that?
100%.
Yeah.
I see people just venting, the younger generation just vent online, and that's as far as it goes. But no help is, they don't seek help or until it goes to a state where, it's either too late or, they can't get out of it because they've, grown into this behavior.
Yeah, and even I think probably with just general everyday sexual harassment, I see a lot of that being spoken about online, that it's happening to people, but they're not following it through and going, right, we need to go to the police, we need to sort this guy out or this woman out or whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's pretty sad. What about within the South African community? Is do you think that when that there's an issue with domestic violence or anything like that within the South African community or the African community in general?
In all honesty, I think coming from South Africa into New Zealand, it's completely two different worlds. We come from a country that is sadly got one of the highest crime rates. So domestic violence is not so prevalent in our homes because I think everyone's just so, is fearing their safety, they're ensuring their families are safe. It's all about that. So domestic violence is not a big issue or a social concern from where I see or the perspective I see it from.
Right.
Just because of our crime rates, we are more concerned about taking care of our families, making sure everyone's fine around us. Just the sad crime numbers is the reason that we are in this sphere of living in South Africa. So domestic violence is not entirely something to be concerned about. We have bigger issues, I believe.
Yeah, we need to do something about that in New Zealand. I definitely think that's a really awesome passion to be behind and charity to be behind. I'm going to go to our next song now, so Somewhere's going to put you on hold for a little bit, Ash. Our next song is by a guy called Nefusin, and he's an upcoming artist based in Melbourne, Australia. He was originally born in Burundi, which is located right in the heart of Africa. Nefusin is well known by his brand new hit single, Good Time, as it is his first new release as a solo artist. Okay, you're on the Black House with 106.1 FM.
Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah. Tell me if you ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? Tell me if you ready. I'm ready. Are you ready, ready, yeah? Are you ready, ready, yeah? Tonight we gonna have a good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Good time, good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Good time, good time. I'm spending all the money, I'm dying for tomorrow. On the other side say you bring it more. Henness, Jade, do it like a Nola. Morals in the bottles, you just bring it more. Tell me if you ready, if you send up on the ready, I'm ready to the party. That I bet every bit that I come to the party. They say I'm with the best when it comes to the money with the honeys. I'm a chilly with the stars, shopping in the sky. Yes, I'm with the star. Everybody under me, they never overlook me. So come on, party with me if you ready for me. I do it for the ones that I care about. I hear you talking every day, so what you talk about? I see you put the glass on it, but nobody buying that. Come on to me, Nefusin, I'll show you how I'm doing that. Say, baby, tell me if you ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? Tell me if you ready. I'm ready. Are you ready, ready, yeah? Are you ready, ready, yeah? Tonight we gonna have a good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Good time, good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Good time, good time. Good time, good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Baby, good time. Good time. Good time. Oh, good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Good time. Good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Tonight we gonna have a good time. Good time. Good time.
Back to the Black House on 106.1 FM, and you're with Leah, and I'm with Ash Beacon, who is our Mrs. Universe New Zealand finalist. All right. Tell us about the Vibrant Africa Family Event 2020, because it got quite a lot of hits on our Facebook page.
Oh, yes. So Vibrant Africa Family Event is one of our exciting African events happening this year, which is next weekend, the 10th of October. And that will run from 10:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And
Right.
that would be in Bucklands Beach Hall in Auckland.
Okay, and so what's going to be happening at this event? What's in the lineup?
Okay, so this event is it's an exciting one for me. It's been an amazing planning. We've got basically your Authentic Africa Day happening. So we're going to be having DJ Ace, who's our South African DJ. We're going to be having our drummers. They're going to grace us with their presence at 12 p.m. with some authentic African drumming happening.
Yeah.
On the back of the hall, we'll be having African stalls, so your crafts market, your art, your traditional foods of South Africa and other parts of Africa as well. You're going to have performers, dancers, so it's basically a full-on day for the family.
Wonderful.
We've got a kids area as well dedicated to the little ones, face painting, drawing, painting. So it's basically a full-on event for the whole family.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. And are you still looking for people to contribute, or is everything closed? Or can people
Yes,
still...
contributors, definitely, we're still looking. This event was going to happen prior to the second COVID lockdown.
Right.
Unfortunately, we went into that little lockdown level 2, and now we've got the new date happening, which is next week. So we had a little bit of time in between, but yes, contributors are still welcome. However, we've closed off on taking any new stalls to the event. I've had an overwhelming response.
Okay. Performances? What about performances?
Performers, yes. If anyone out there would like to, do a performance or, come and showcase their talent, please feel free to get in touch with me.
Great. How would they do that? How would they get in touch with you?
Sure. So you can get in touch with me via my Facebook page,
Right.
which is the Vibrant Africa Family Event. So that's an event created on Facebook.
Yep.
Alternatively, you can reach me via my candidate page, which is Ash Beacon, Mrs. Universe New Zealand Candidate 2021.
So Ash, and it's pronounced Beacon.
B-E-C-H-A-N.
Yeah, but it's spelled with the H, right? And
That's it.
and it's Ash Beacon. What came after that?
Mrs. Universe
Right.
Candidate 2021 NZ.
Okay. So if you get that, people, if you want to get in touch for performances or to contribute, stalls are closed. correct me if I'm wrong anywhere, you can you can get in touch with Ash at the Vibrant Africa Family Day event page, or Ash Beacon, Mrs. Universe New Zealand. I got to stop saying Miss all the time. What else anything else that you wanted to say about this Africa Day, Vibrant Africa Family Event 2020?
Yeah, I mean, it's, apart from being a charity event towards Shine New Zealand, I think our African community hasn't actually had an event this year as of yet. So this will be the first one. I mean, I hope to make it a success.
Right.
But do forgive me for any shortcomings on the day.
Yeah.
It's just a day to bring everyone together, enjoy live DJ, music. We're supporting an amazing cause whilst bringing the community together.
Yes, because the Africa Days across the country was stopped, because it was March 25th is normally the day they do an Africa Day, but we were all in COVID-4 at that stage, weren't we? So, so this is, you're going to be the first event for the year, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. So there's not going to be one in Auckland this year, apart from mine. So yes, please do come along, enjoy, some of the authentic flavors of back home. Feel a little bit closer to home as well.
Yeah, there's going to be barbecues, braai everywhere.
We will be having vendors actually selling a lot of the foods. There won't be too much of cooking on site just because it's in a community hall.
Oh, I see. Yep.
Yes. So we're utilizing an indoor event. Just with the weather in Auckland, we'd rather be safe.
Yeah, has it been a bit crazy up there?
Up and down. I guess this part of the year is like that, isn't it? You have some grey clouds for an hour and then blue skies the next.
Well, I wanted to ask you a few more things about the Mrs. Universe competition. What's the other competition like for you? Is there a lot of competing between the women, or you're all kind of mature enough to say, hey, this isn't about just who's the most beautiful in the room? Is there a bit of cattiness or anything like that going on?
In all honesty, not at all. There's no cattiness at all from, the candidates I met so far. We've all become, quite close, rather than sort of, being competitors. I think we've become more sisters than anything, and it's not just a cliche.
Yeah.
It's real. We all are supporting the same causes.
Right.
Each of us are preparing separate events. However, we are all present and helping each other. So I think, this makes one of those sentiments I mentioned before is actually a reality in this pageant, because it's, yes, it's a competition on the night, but leading up to that, we are assisting each other, helping each other, and doing the best we can do.
So there'll be a lot of information sharing, I suppose, for different people, for different charities and what have you.
Yes, because we're doing different charities, we are sharing the information amongst us and, getting assistance from each other. We've all got different strengths that can assist each other, so it works really well.
And also, coming in as parents and mothers and wives, and that it's a really different position, stage in life that you're coming into it. It's not, like you said before, it's not all about us.
Yes.
It's about the community more. So it's a different mentality.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, you're multitasking a lot of things. So I think it takes a lot of courage to be here, and personally, I'm enjoying the journey.
Yeah. What advice would you have for other women that would want to enter the Mrs. Universe competition? What would you say would be something that they bring with them if they were going to enter into such competitions?
I definitely think it can be done. A lot of women, including myself, never thought it would be possible because you've got kids or you've got a busy life. But, if you're just dreaming or thinking about it, send your application through and you'll be amazed at what happens. The journey itself is difficult. There's a commitment involved. But it's not about being a size 4. It's not about being a certain culture. It's completely diverse, and it's all about just being yourself. Enjoying yourself with the community. That's basically the highlight for me.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I hope it encourages some of our mature models to go for it, and when they get an opportunity to just step up there and have some fun and give back to the community. You don't have to be 20 anymore. They've got something for us in our age group.
Definitely.
All right, that's awesome. Hey, we're going to go to another song now. We're just going to put you back in the background for a little bit before we bring you back on again, Ash, if you don't mind just waiting a little bit. Okay, cool. Our next song that we're playing is by a performer called Gameras. Gameras launched himself onto the Australian music scene in 2017 with his debut single, Nana. He has since had his foot on the paddle, carefully delivering singles throughout the year, each as polished as the last, with a slightly new flavour and flair. Where's this guy from? Brisbane. He's from Brisbane. Okay, this is Gameras with Grinding.
I've been grinding my whole life, yeah. I've been on the field ever since I was born, yeah. I've been grinding my whole life, Got my first job when I was only 9, yeah. I've been grinding my whole life, 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 yeah. I ain't never had no drop day. Everything I have, I had to work for. Had so many people tryna shut me down. Had so many people tryna pull me down. Now I'm the nigga that they own me. Everybody tryna be the homie. If I don't know you, don't be stepping in my lane. If I don't trust you, crap yourself out the vision. I'm a refugee, I'll be working all this time. You ain't gon' stop me, I've been grinding my whole life, yeah. I've been on the field ever since I was born, yeah. I've been grinding my whole life, Got my first job when I was only 9, yeah. I've been grinding my whole life, 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 yeah. I've been on my word around town, I'm the nigga now. I don't need no motherfucking introduction. Fake friends wanna be friends, but all the pretends wanna be friends. I got bigger plan, all you do is talk. Had the blood vision, working overtime. Always on the grind, always at the drive. I just sacrifice on the overdrive. We ain't not the same, we are not the same. I do what I want, You do what you told, I'm all about the action, all you do is talk.
Black House on 106.1 FM. I'm going to go into a bit of a shout out mode for a minute. We got a few things we've got to announce, so I'm just going to get stuck into it. Rosemary Bennett, she's also a Mrs. Universe New Zealand candidate for 2021, is doing a Kids Got Talent dance competition. All the talents are welcome. Kids aged 5 to 15 years, registration fee is $10 and prizes will be awarded to the best dancers. So you just contact Rosemary Bennett on 021-256-1160 or email rosemarymay392@hotmail.com. And she's also another Mrs. Universe. And she's going to be holding a Mrs. Universe New Zealand candidate 2021 charity event. Also shines on her posters as well. And she's got a Kids Got Talent dance competition for anybody who's entering. The entry for people to go and watch it is $5, but kids are free. And you can just join them on Sunday, the 25th of October, 2020, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Masafinia's Corner, 237 Airfield Road, Papakura, Auckland. So that's going to be on the 25th of October. So if you're in Auckland, go and check it out. Get your kids entered if they're dancers with talent. Just go along and just do that. The Vibrant Africa Family event of 2020 is going to be on the 10th of October from 10:30 to 3:30 p.m. The venue is Bucklands and Eastern Beach Memorial Hall, 48 The Parade at Bucklands Beach. They're going to have family fun, markets, entertainment, prizes, kids face painting, DJ Ace, fashion, performances, arts, crafts, food appearances, kids playland area, balloon fun, and cash only, please people. Tickets are via Eventbrite or door sales entry. There's going to be a $5 raffle prize entry, and kids under 5 are free. And come celebrate our Heritage Month of October. I've got a couple more that I've got to read out here. Of course, we've got Adedoyan Akulele, who is running Afrespect. It's a boutique fashion store in Kelburn. He's a fashion designer, a stylist and a buyer. You can contact him on 0210 284 4947 or on afrespect.global@gmail.com. And they've also got a website, www.afrispect, that's AFRISPEC global.com. Their store is up in Kelburn, not far past the university. Go up there and have a look at what he's got. He's got some amazing clothes up there, and of course he designs and styles all of them, and he does do outfits to fit you. Bespoke, I think, is the word that they use. I've got a couple more shout outs for our guys out there in Rongotai. You got Sackmart's Auto Centre. Hey, if you need to get your car fixed, make sure you get in touch with Tapiwa. He's the manager out there. His number is 0275 498 203. He's running Sackmart's Auto Centre at 57B Kingsford, Smith Street, Rongotai, and he's doing all vehicle servicing and grooming. I've had my car fixed a couple of times by him just to do a few small jobs, and he does the job well. Also, exterior and interior painting, roof painting, paint stripping, water blasting, general maintenance. Make sure you get in touch with Eagle Eye Painting Services. That's Munya Chike, and his number is 022 186 2993, or you can email him on eagleeyepainters@gmail.com. And also, finally, you looking to buy that house, don't forget to get in touch with Gisela Nubo Machena. Sorry for my pronunciation if I'm not getting that right, but she's a licensed real estate consultant, and she can sort you out. Just give her a call at Team Group Realty Limited. Her number is 021 179 1170, or you can phone her on 04 569 2096. Gisela.Machena at harcourts.co.nz. And okay, I need to get Ash back on the phone. Can you just turn that up a little bit somewhere so we can just get into this conversation again? I forgot to mention, Ash, are you there?
Yes, I am.
I forgot to mention, I really should repeat that free call number for Shine, for people that are feeling they're in a desperate situation. And I'm just going to say that again. Shine's free call number is 0508 744 633. That's correct, isn't it?
That's it. That's correct.
Oh, great. So, anything else you'd like to share with us? about the when it is. What date are you actually having this? Are you having this competition? Is it 2021 or is it?
Yes.
What-
So it will be on the 15th and 16th of January,
Okay.
2021.
Yeah.
So the 15th will be a pre-pageant, and the 16th will be the final night.
What's a pre-pageant?
So they'll be showcasing our talent. We'll be showcasing domestic violence videos, the involvement we had with the community as well.
Right.
Before the final night, where
Yeah.
we, do our gown ceremony and the other rounds that's involved.
Right. And so it's over two nights. So the first one's more is the pre-pageant a little less formal, or is it as formal
That's
as the
correct.
night? Oh, it's a little less formal. So if you wanted to attend, do you have to buy tickets, or is it a donation at the door? What's the story?
It will be ticket-based. The Mrs. Universe Organisation of New Zealand will start updating that once it's available to purchase.
Right.
But for now, yes, it will definitely be ticket entries.
Yeah. And you don't have any idea what the price is and whereabouts that's going to be?
It will be in Glen Eden, Auckland, if I'm not mistaken. Timing, I'm not 100% sure yet, or the pricing, I'm sorry, it's not yet been published.
Right. And anything else you want to mention about, especially for those people that may want to do this, what kind of attitude do you think would be a useful attitude to have if they were going to be part of such a competition as a Mrs.?
I think basically coming into something like this, you've firstly, yes, the confidence you've got to have to be able to go out there, get yourself known, get into the community, not be afraid of speaking up for the organizations we support, like Shine or the Refuge. I do encourage women to come along and join this platform. It's you grow yourself, you grow others, you learn so much. So I think it's a fantastic platform.
And how many is there a lot of women involved in the Mrs. competition, or was there a small number or a large number of entrants this year?
I think it's been up and down, I believe, just because of COVID-19. However, we have 6 finalists at the moment.
6?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. That's awesome. And I think, unless you've got anything else you'd particularly want to announce?
I would like to thank my sponsors, if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely. Go for it.
Yes, I would love to thank Rand Rescue, Admin Accounting, Imagine Face Paint, SA Pantry, who's in Wellington, Biltong Plus, Zanika Attire, again, they're in Wellington. And these are basically the sponsors who's contributed, and I am very thankful, especially about the time that we're living in, that they've come forward to assist the event.
Yeah. Are you going to get to travel around the country and, let people know that you're an entrant, or are you going to stay in the Auckland area for this?
In all honesty, because I'm from Tauranga, representing the Bay of Plenty region, I have made my way through the Bay of Plenty. I'm quite actively involved in Auckland as well. Yeah, if I'm in Wellington, I will come and say hi as well. So.
Oh, absolutely. You're more than welcome to drop into the studio. We're only here once a week, so we're only kind of here between 3 and 3:58 on a Saturday. But absolutely, we'd love you to come in and meet everybody here. What about the South Island?
The South Island, I'm not 100% sure yet, but so far the North Island I can speak for.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe we do have some candidates that are popping out of the South Island, or they might already be with us. I'm not sure.
Right.
But yeah, so it's different parts of the place that we have candidates coming from.
Okay, that sounds. That sounds really great. I'm really impressed that you're actually going for this into the Mrs. Universe competition. I think it's really good. The charities that you guys get to support and promote are very worthwhile and worthy ones, and definitely charities and NGOs that need a lot more support from the New Zealand public and society at large, especially with domestic violence. I'm going to have to thank you very much for being patient with us while behind the scenes, we were kind of like figuring out how things were going to flow today, because we've never done a telephone interview. But so you're our first, and you're the first one. So somewhere was very nervous about actually answering a phone, so it was kind of and doing the sound as well. We really appreciate you being on air with us, and come into the studio definitely when you're in Wellington. And I'm really thankful that you were able to do this and make the call, and everything's kind of flowed on well. I hope we've got all the information that you want to get out there. You never know who's listening on Access, so.
Yes, I am thankful. Thank you, Black House FM, for having me along as well. I'm very thankful for that. If there's anyone in my sponsor list, I do apologize, but I am actively advertising everyone who's contributed to the event. So thanks again.
You're welcome. We're going to go to our last song now. It's a song by Hancock, and the song is Unusual. Hancock's a Melbourne-based Somali artist. People, get into it. That's us on the Black House for this week. Stay awesome, people. Tutau Nana Wiki Ijao. Bye-bye now.
I don't need you. Roll up, smoke Gucci, I need you. My true spread vibes, keep it simple. Can't help myself, I'm unusual. Can't help my pulse, metaphysical. Can't help my pull and my physical. Can't help my pull and my chances. And you reacted to all this madness. Your headspace is damaged. Your drama is tragic. My flirt ain't a habit. My freedom is savage.
That program is brought to you by Wellington Access Radio. Get your voice heard.
Thanks New Zealand On Air for funding accessmedia.nz. .nz. 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 .nz.